You're scrolling, drifting through the endless static of the algorithm, waiting for the signal to cut through the noise. Consider, if you will, that you just found the frequency. You've just stepped off the timeline of the everyday, into the space where the forgotten history and the hidden truths finally touch down. There's the story you know, and then there's the airspace we're about to enter. Check your coordinates, because you're heading towards the landing point. Today's story. You need to rethink your life. He was a bright student, one in the top of his class. In the quiet, mostly white town of Mason, Michigan, in the late 1930s, he was a standout. He was popular, too, so charismatic that his class elected him the class president. He had a sharp mind, a quick wit, and a burning ambition. One day, he sat down with his English teacher, a man he admired, to talk about his future. The boy straightened his back and shared his dream. He said he wanted to be a lawyer. He expected encouragement. He expected advice on which pre-law courses to take. Instead, the teacher looked at him with a pity smile. He told the boy that he needed to be realistic. He said that for someone of, his background, of his color, law was not a possibility. He suggested that the boy become a carpenter. "You're good with your hands," the teacher said. It was in that moment that could have been a stepping stone. Instead, it was a stumbling block. Disillusioned, the boy dropped out of school at age 15. If the world wouldn't let him be a professional, he would be something else entirely. He moved to the big city. First Boston, then Harlem. He traded his books for a zoot suit. He straightened his hair with burned lye to look more like the people who had rejected him. He ran numbers. He peddled narcotics. He became a street hustler known as Detroit Red. He was on a path to self-destruction, and he had found it. At age 20, he was arrested for burglary and sentenced to 10 years in prison. But it was there, behind bars, the boy who wanted to be a lawyer found his voice again. He began to read. He copied the entire dictionary, word for word, page by page. He debated the other inmates. He discovered a new faith, and he realized that that teacher in Michigan had been wrong. He did have a case to argue, but his courtroom would not be a quiet town in Michigan. It would be the streets of America, and his client would be his people. He dropped the name Little, which he called a slave name. He would drop the nickname Red. The world would come to know the former class president, the would-be lawyer, the ex-con, as one of the most powerful and polarizing voices of the civil rights movement. If you haven't figured out yet, his name is Malcolm X. And whether you realize it or not, this is The Landing Point. Thank you for watching today, The Landing Point. Our stories come out Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, so you can always catch our latest story. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Roadrunner Real Estate. They're a full-service real estate company that can help you with both your real estate, residential and commercial needs, both buying and selling and leasing for the commercial side. If you haven't done so already, please go out to our YouTube page and subscribe so you can get our latest stories that come out. If you want our latest updates, please go to our Facebook page and follow and like that. And then for those of you that enjoy just listening to stories when you're out on the drive, we do have our podcast too that you can hear the same stories. Thank you for listening to today's story, and we'll catch you next time.